Royals gather for first summer at Balmoral since Queen's death. Charles and Camilla are joined by William, Kate, Andrew, Edward, Sophie and Queen's lady-in-waiting Lady Susan Hussey at church.
The royal family today gathered at church in Balmoral as they enjoy the first summer break at the royal estate since the Queen spent her final days there before her death a year ago. As the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's passing approaches, all senior working royals were seen going to church near the grounds of the estate where she died on September 8, last year. King Charles and Queen Camilla were joined by his son Prince William and daughter-in-law Princess Catherine for their traditional Sunday morning service. The Prince and Princess of Wales were accompanied by the disgraced Prince Andrew, while the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh accompanied the Princess Royal and Vice Admiral Sir Tim Laurence. Also pictured going to Crathy Kirk Church was Lady Susan Hussey, who was the late Queen's lady-in-waiting and was one of her closest confidants. The gathering is the first time such a large number of royals have gathered at the Scottish estate since Queen Elizabeth died on September 8, last year. A sudden decline in her health at the age of 96 had sparked a rush from senior royals to see her at the Aberdeenshire castle last year, but many were unable to make it before she passed away. Buckingham Palace had stated that King Charles intended to spend the anniversary of her death quietly reflecting at Balmoral while hosting visits from family and friends. While the King and Queen Camilla are known to prefer staying at Balmoral, their private home on the Aberdeenshire estate, Charles has bucked his preferences for tradition to honour his late mother. He will stay at the Scottish residence for 3 weeks, meaning he will be there on the anniversary of his mother's death next month. Yesterday the King, joined by Queen Camilla, took part in a traditional ceremony to present a new colour to the royal guard. The ceremony saw the use of a new colour, called the baladder colour, which is to be used by the royal guard as it marks a new monarch. It is used by the soldiers who guard Balmoral Castle while the King is in residence during the summer months. Last year, the military ceremony took place behind closed doors to maximize the comfort of the Queen, who was in failing health. It was reported that most members of the royal family were expected to visit at some point or another during the King's stay at Balmoral. The Prince and Princess of Wales, as well as their 3 children George, Charlotte and Louis, were expected to arrive, as were Princess Anne and her husband Vice Admiral Sir Tim Laurence. The Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh and their 2 children were also be expected to visit. However, there were question marks over whether Prince Andrew, who used to stay at the castle with his ex-wife, Sarah, and their 2 daughters at the start of August every year, would be there. The King put the kibosh on their visit by extending opening times to the public by 2 weeks. But this seems to have been brought to an amicable conclusion after Charles extended an olive branch to his younger brother by inviting him and his ex-wife to the summer gathering. Andrew, 63, drove himself to the 50,000-acre estate on Royalside before later being accompanied by Sarah, who flew to Aberdeen. The pair are staying at the 7-bedroom Craiggowan Lodge on the estate, favoured by the late Queen. A royal insider insisted it was not a snub the pair were staying at the lodge instead of the main house, telling the Express, "The King and Andrew are now on much better terms, and making him the first member of the family to join him is an olive branch."